The First World War eventually caused the collapse of the Russian Empire. The Tsar of Russia, Nicholas, had to abdicate. And after he abdicated, then the Bolshevik Revolution took place, and Russia became a communist state, the Soviet Union, an atheist state. And so Britain and France celebrated. The First World War also brought about the collapse of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire. And Britain and France celebrated. But the First World War also brought about the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, and Britain and France celebrated, but the Zionists celebrated most of all. And so the way is now open. By the November of 1917, the British Army had conquered Constantinople. The Russian army was close to Constantinople. By November of 1917, the British army conquered Jerusalem. But in that same year, the Russian army was close to Constantinople. And the Russians are happy we're going to get Constantinople. Then Wall Street intervened, and Wall Street ensured that Russia will never get Constantinople because they sent Lenin from New York to bring about the Bolshevik Revolution. And the Bolsheviks took Russia out of the war, so there's no question of Russia getting Constantinople. Russia was deceived. As soon as Britain took control of Jerusalem, by the next year, 1918, the League of Nations was established at the Treaty of Versailles. And then Britain was given mandate power over Jerusalem, over the Holy Land. And that paved the way eventually for the Jews to return to Jerusalem and for the state of Israel to be established. But when we turn to the Arabian Peninsula, we see something similar occurring. That by 1916, the Zionists and the British were also successful in undermining the Ottoman control over Mecca and Medina. And the Ottoman Khalifa, the Sharif of Mecca, was bought by the British, Ali bin Hussein. They paid him £7 million to turn against the Ottomans. And Abdulaziz in Riyadh was given £5,000 a month by the British to turn to be an ally of Britain. That's the beginning of the end of Arabia's independence. By 1924, Hussein bin Ali, when the Ottoman Caliphate was abolished in Constantinople, he declared, I am the Khalifa. The British didn't like that. So they told Abdulaziz, you take over now. And Abdulaziz then rode against Hussein bin Ali and was able to conquer Mecca in 1924. When he conquered Mecca, if the Wahhabi Saudis had any sincerity in their hearts for Islam, the Saudi Wahhabis should have declared the Khilafah to be restored. But they did no such thing. They abandoned the Khilafah, they betrayed the Khilafah, and they said, we want to establish the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I wish I had more time to give you this eschatological explanation, how our Prophet ﷺ was able to anticipate this. But I want to give you one hadith before I end. And this is a hadith which is in parallel with the events I have just mentioned. He said, when Jerusalem is center stage, and therefore the Ottoman Empire collapses, Britain takes control of Jerusalem, and the state of Israel is established, and Israel becomes a powerful state in the world. When Jerusalem is center stage, then Medina will be in forlorn desolation because the Saudi Wahhabis have betrayed Islam. He says after that, the next step, the next event will be the Great War. And then would be the conquest of Constantinople, and then would be the Khuruj of Dajjal. What I have done in this brief address is to show you Jerusalem center stage, and that's why it happened. Medina in forlorn desolation, and that's why it's happened. We postpone the rest until the discussion session this afternoon, inshallah. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.